Hey guys, my name's Rich and I'm with Wilson Logistics Safety, and I want to take a little bit of time to talk about getting out and looking. You know, in our industry, the most common accident that we see is backing and fixed object accidents. And many of these can be prevented by simply getting out and looking and being aware of all of the obstacles around us. You know, when I talk to drivers a lot of times and we do an accident review, most of the time they say, I had a feeling I was kind of close, or my gut told me I should have got out one more time. And I guess a good question for all of us is, how many times is too many times to get out? So we're gonna take just a little bit of time and go talk to some of our students and see what they think about it. So let's go. State your name for the camera, sir.
My name is Brian Hawkins.
Brian Hawkins.
Yes, sir.
What do you think of the program, Brian?
I think it's absolutely amazing.
Okay, so here's what we're talking about, Brian. Getting out and looking. So with your backing training here, have you guys been working on getting out and looking?
Oh, absolutely, sir. That is definitely one thing that you guys stress about, every single last thing you should do. Safety, safety, safety. Get out and look. Make sure that you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, so when we're getting out, Brian, what exactly are we looking for?
We're looking for, it depends on whether or not you got a trailer on the left of you or a trailer on the right of you. You're getting out to look to make sure that you're not hitting another vehicle. You're getting out to look to make sure that someone is not behind your vehicle. You're making sure that you got enough space to make that maneuver that you're trying to make.
Okay. What about looking on the ground versus looking up high? You think there's a difference?
Absolutely.
Do you? Okay, so, and the reason I ask that is, we have seen drivers, and this is for the folks out there watching on Facebook and everything else, social media. We've seen drivers post-accident when we're doing a review, and they'll come in and they'll walk around the entire unit, and they'll look on the ground, but they'll never look high. And you know, when we've had guys come in because they've had backing accidents where they've maybe hit in history, you know, maybe hit a low-hanging pole. A wire. Maybe a marquee or something like that. Okay. So it's important. The getting out and looking is not just to check the box.
Yes.
We got to make sure that we put the action to it, right?
Yes. Look low and look high.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so sir, can you state your name for the camera?
Robert Green.
Robert Green. Okay, Robert. Well, what do you think of the program?
I love it.
You love it?
I love it.
So when you're thinking about getting out and looking, what do you think about that, Robert?
Get out and look, make sure there's nobody around you, up high for the overheads, any kind of overheads, or make sure nobody actually, when you back up, like into a parking spot, make sure that your right side of your trailer is not going to hit the truck next to you, or the left side is not going to, hit the truck next to you. And
how many times, Robert? How many times is sufficient?
As many times as it takes.
As many times as it takes. Did you hear that?
Many times as it takes.
I like this guy. That's a good answer, Robert. Until we are safe, right?
That's right.
So as many times as it takes, folks. If we get out of that truck and just that one time, and we're close, and you look and you know you're close.
It only takes one time for somebody to walk up on your right side and you not even know they're there.
That's right. Now, the question I'll ask you, Robert, is what about in a 90-degree situation? What kind of hazards do we got, and why should we get out in a 90-degree backing situation?
Well, like in a truck stop, for example, you're doing a 90 backing into a parking spot, and once you're at that 90 point, you cannot see the right side of that trailer. So you don't know if a truck pulled up on you your right side.
That's right. What about that?
Make sure he's not there.
What about the clearance with the bat wing and, like say, the refrigerator unit on the front of the trailer?
Same thing. Get out and look. Make sure you don't back into anything with it.
That's right. So
they're very expensive.
Absolutely. And when you've got that, you want to make sure that you've got enough turning radius, got enough clearance, right? So it's not just, we've talked about with Brian about looking around our trailers and everything, but we're also wanting to make sure that we've got enough clearance in our enough room in our turning radius, so we're not damaging our own unit, not just hitting things, but
or damaging someone else's unit.
Yeah. So those are all good points. So thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Gentlemen, come on up here, sir.
Robert Haley.
Hey, Robert, what do you think, man? Doing all right
great.
today?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Well, good. So, what's your thoughts on getting out and looking?
It's crucial.
It's crucial?
It's crucial, yeah. It can be expensive and it can be dangerous if you don't.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're at a vendor and there's trucks all around you. They're coming in and out, and it's a very busy area. Is it all right not to get out and look before we back?
It's you need to get out and look before you back.
Okay.
But you need to make sure you're safe while you're doing it. There's a lot of trucks moving around, and you don't want to be under one.
Okay, so at the vendor, it's very important, folks, to remember you can control your vehicle.
You cannot control the others.
That's right. So a lot of people might not get out and look because I've heard the excuse, it was busy, this is what I hear post-accident. It was busy.
Correct.
And kind of the thought is, if we'd have just taken that 1 second and drove your vehicle, you can only control your vehicle, right?
That's right.
We can't control what everybody else is doing. So here's a good question. We see in our industry, drivers will find a hole and they'll back into that hole 10 foot, and after they're about 10 foot in, they'll set the brakes and get out. Is that acceptable?
No, there could be power lines above. There could be rebar poking out of the pavement. You might blow a tire on that. Anything. There could be somebody walking behind you. You need to get out and look before you get in the front of those other trailers. Those trailers.
That's great. You should teach the class, man. That's perfect. I like that.
That's my goal.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Man, step right up to the camera.
Yes, sir.
Come on up here.
I'm so photogenic. I'm photogenic.
That's good. Okay. State your name for the camera, sir.
My name is Derek Bryce Abrams. I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama, and I stay in Houston, Texas.
Derek, what's up, man? You doing all right?
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
We're glad you're here, bud.
Yes, sir.
So when we're in a situation, just like what you did when you were backing, why is it important to look in front, the side, and behind you before you complete that backing maneuver?
You want to get out and look because you don't want to hit any objects that is standing along or pedestrians, or you might see, a cat or a dog. You just want to make sure you want to avoid obstacles, and just make sure you don't hit anything.
Absolutely. So Derek, let me ask you, man, how fast should you be going backwards?
How fast? You should be going slow as possible, just to check your surroundings.
That's right. That's right. So when we're doing these backing maneuvers, we want to know all of our surroundings. We want to know everything around us. Be aware. So a lot of people say, well, man, I didn't get out and look because I wasn't backing. Is it important to get out and look before you go forward?
It's always a good thing to get out and look if you're going forward or backwards. It's always a good time to get out the truck.
And what kind of things are we looking for?
As far as like getting out the truck,
Yeah.
you want to get out and just look, check your surroundings, like you said, check for objects or glass on the ground to protect your truck. Also, you as a driver, you don't want to hit anybody else, like a pedestrian or like a pole or anything.
Yellow poles, fire hydrants, dumpsters, other tractors,
Yes, sir.
right? So those other tractors, if we damage those, we're ultimately affecting someone else's livelihood, right? Because
Yes,
that's
sir.
their truck as well.
Yes, sir.
So we want to make sure that we're aware of fixed objects so it doesn't impact other people as well, right?
Right.
Well, man, I greatly appreciate you being here, and thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you so much. Safety first.
Yes. Awesome. Well, folks, you heard it from the professional drivers, right? We're right here in Springfield, Missouri, and they just gave you some pointers and told you what you need to be doing. So let's put those skills to the test. Let's get out and look every single time. Let's make sure that we're aware of all of our surroundings, fixed objects, fire hydrants, yellow poles, other trucks, dumpsters, pedestrian vehicles. Thank you, and be safe out there. We appreciate you. Hey team, thanks a lot for watching our safety message. If you've got any comments or suggestions, please let our safety department know. In the West, we've got Amy Carmichael in safety. My name's Rich Key. I'm right here out of the Springfield location. And our VP of Safety, Scott Manthe, he's in the Pacific location. Again, thanks for all you do, and be safe out there.